Hey guys, it's Matt here. I wanted to show you guys how to set a door on the weather side. So if you look here, what we've done is we've put this Fortiflash down. So what we're gonna have is a deck going on here. So you want this membrane behind your deck to really protect it well. And so anyways, we have a slider going in here, and I made a mistake and actually ran this Fortiflash down before I should have, because what we do here is we put these stainless pans in to protect this bottom edge, because if you have any weather issues with window or door, it's at the bottom of them where they'll rot and have problems. That's why we go to this extent to protect everything. So anyways, what you want to do, you know, everybody makes mistakes, so don't get upset at yourself if you make one in construction, but just make sure and do it right. Don't skip by your mistake. So anyways, what I did was I cut this. So as you can see, when you put this pan in here, you want the water that rolls down to come inside this pan. See, so it'll come inside this pan, and then it can't get inside because of this lip you have here, so it's forced to come out and over. And so what that does is that protects any moisture that gets in through here to get out and not cause any rot on your building. And so that's what you want to do when you go to setting these windows or doors that are on your really bad weather side. And so here what I did, you know, because I had to cut this, which is a mistake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another little piece of Fortiflash, and I'm going to put it on here before I overlap this, because what that'll do is that'll protect this little cut that I made, any water from getting into that slot there. And so, you know, it'll just roll right through. That's what you want to think about water, because it's going to get in if it has any place to go. And then also what I'm going to do right here, you know, before I set this pan, is I'm gonna run a bead of caulking right down this edge all the way. I'll run it right down this edge, and you know, just load it up with a layer of protection right there. That way, if any water was to ever get in here on this, it's got to come out. It can't go in. So I'll go ahead and do all this, and then I'll show you guys here once we get it all set up and ready to put the door in, what it looks like. Okay guys, so I want to show you this real quick. So here's the caulking. See, I went along that edge the whole way, and then I also put another little piece of Fortiflash here where I cut it, so that way when the water rolls it down, there's not a bad spot right here where it can get in. It's protected right there where I cut it. So any water that comes down through here now will just roll right on through. So that's what you're looking for. You want that edge back there sealed up, and then, you know, right at the corners, which there isn't going to be any water getting into that anyways. But just in case, if there was, you always want a backup plan for your backup plan on this moisture. So that's how it rolls. Okay, you guys, so I just wanted to show you what this looks like. Here's the Fortiflash over my pan, my stainless pan. So any water rolls down, you can see it's just gonna roll right into this pan, and then, you know, it can't go back because it's got this lip on the outside or on the inside here. So, you know, it's forced to come down, and then it'll just roll right down this. So you always have a little bit of moisture inside here, because what you have is 2 layers of this Fortiflash, and it condensates in between the two. So this is bulletproof setup here to keep from rot. So anytime you guys setting a door or a window, this is how you want to do it on a weather side. If you end up living in a place like we do where it rains and it can have 80-mile-an-hour winds to force that moisture in. So this is the way you want to do it. Now we have the door set, and I wanted to show you guys how that works. So when you go to set the door, on the back side of it, what you'll do is you'll caulk the sides and the top all the way down right where that nail pattern is. And I put a good thick bead of caulking, about a 1/2 inch wide by probably 1/4 inch thick, down this whole edge. But you don't want to put any on the bottom. And the reason for that is in case any water gets in there or it condensates, any water that builds up in that pan that we put will just roll off and out. So that's how you'll set that. And then what you do on your nail pattern is you go every other hole. And what you'll use is an 8-penny galvanized nail. I've just been using my nail gun nails, so they got little strips on them, but you want to go right into the stud. And sometimes there'll be a fur strip on the inside of your door there, and you'll be nailing in between them, and you could tell the nail isn't hitting wood solid and pulling it in. So what you want to do is scoot over like I did right here, and you could put a nail right through this anywhere you want. So if your holes aren't working, that's what you want to do, scoot over and put a nail where you're grabbing wood and it's actually doing its job. And like I was saying, you know, you'll go all the way around it, every other nail hole, except for on the bottom. You don't want to put any nails down there, because then you'll cause a spot where water can get into your framing and your sheeting. So I got to the final stage here of setting this slider. I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like. So what you do with this last course of FortiFlash is you start on your sides. You want to leave your bottom, just the pan like that, and the flange. So any water that gets in there will come right out in between your stainless pan and your door there. So anyways, the edge of your flange will get covered. The nails and everything, they're all covered up. What I do is I butt my FortiFlash tight to the slider or window, whichever you want to do. This situation, it's a slider. And then what you'll do is you'll do the sides and then the top. And that way any water that gets in here comes right down and over the layer below. And that's how you do, you know, your paper on the wall. Everything is like that. You start from the bottom and work your way up, and any water will just flow right on down past. I guess while I'm right here, I could show you guys how I do these light blocks too, or water bibs. They're all the same. So I'll put a piece of 1 foot wide FortiFlash, usually about 2 foot long, or you don't need to go that far. If you had it in here, that'd be good enough. We just had a little extra, so that's all right. But anyways, you know, we'll cut an X out right where the block is. We'll put the FortiFlash on, then we'll set our block, and then we'll flush it up. Then you have your stainless over the top of your trim always to protect any water from getting in behind that block. And also, as you can see, I've caulked up against that edge too, where no water gets in behind it right on the sides. You never want to caulk the bottom. That way any water that is in there can get out. And then every layer goes over the one underneath it. And this is how it'll look once it's papered right here. You have your stainless pan over any trim that you have on the wall, and then your courses just roll right through where you don't have anywhere water can penetrate into your wall.